Story. Miss, you speak English? The man asked, his eyes kind but confused. A wave of panic surged through Anaya. She clutched her little phrasebook tighter, her mouth opening, then closing again like a fish out of water. It was her second day in London, her dream city, but so far, it felt more like a maze of unfamiliar words, strange accents, and lonely glances. She'd promised herself she would handle everything on her own this trip. No guides, no translators, just her, a backpack, and courage. But now, standing at the Victoria train station with her suitcase rolling in circles behind her, she wasn't so sure anymore. Anaya came from a small town in India, where English was a subject in school, not a language of daily life. At 27, she worked as a receptionist in a local hotel and often watched tourists breeze in and out, laughing, chatting confidently in English. She would smile and nod, helping them with bookings, but deep inside, she longed to join their world, to travel, to connect, to understand and be understood. So when she finally saved up enough for her solo trip to Europe, she knew one thing had to change first: her English. For months before the trip, every evening after work, Anaya would sit with her earphones in, repeating after YouTube videos, "Can you help me, please? Where is the nearest train station? How much does this cost?" She whispered phrases late into the night, scribbled vocabulary in a notebook, and practiced conversations in front of a cracked mirror in her bedroom. But nothing could have prepared her for the real thing. Back at the station, the man was still waiting. "Do you need help with directions?" he asked again, slowly this time. Anaya inhaled deeply. "You've practiced this," she reminded herself. "Yes, I want go to Oxford Street," she said, pointing at her phone's map. The man smiled warmly. "You mean I want to go to Oxford Street? No problem. Come, I'll show you." That single correction didn't offend her. It felt like kindness, a little stepping stone across a river of fear. Later that day, she found herself in a cafe near Hyde Park, sipping coffee alone, watching the world go by. The waitress, cheerful and curious, asked, "Are you visiting London for the first time?" Anaya nodded, then hesitated, then added, "Yes. First time. Learning English. Your English is good," the waitress encouraged. "Better than my Hindi, I bet." Anaya laughed, really laughed, and something unlocked inside her. Over the next few days, she made it her mission to speak at least 5 English sentences a day to someone new. She asked for directions at the museum, ordered food at restaurants without pointing at the menu, and even chatted with fellow travelers on the tube. Sometimes she stumbled, sometimes people didn't understand her. But every time, she learned something new. In Paris, a mix-up at a hotel nearly ruined her plans. The receptionist couldn't find her reservation. Old Anaya would have frozen, but this Anaya, though nervous, pulled out her phone and calmly said, "I made booking 2 weeks ago. Here is confirmation email." Clear, simple, assertive. It worked. In Rome, she met Sofia, a Brazilian solo traveler who also spoke English as a second language. They bonded over gelato and stories of missed trains, shared travel tips, and laughed about mispronunciations. English wasn't perfect for either of them, but it was their bridge. It connected their hearts. By the end of her journey, Anaya wasn't just visiting countries, she was living them. Each interaction, each sentence, each mistake had become a small victory. Back home, her coworkers noticed the change immediately. She stood taller, spoke with more confidence. When foreign guests arrived at the hotel, she greeted them without hesitation. One day, her manager approached her with an offer. "We're opening a sister hotel in Singapore. We'd like you to train some of the new reception staff. You'll need to speak English with them." Anaya smiled, her heart pounding with joy. "I'd love to. Moral: learning English, or any language, is not just about grammar or accent. It's about courage, connection, and opening doors you never thought possible. Every mistake is a step forward. Speak every day. Speak with heart. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Because learning English speaking, every day, easily, quickly, is not just about the language. It's about discovering the traveler within you.